Check this out. Looking out at the Kulu Valley of Himachal Pradesh, northern India. Absolutely stunning views, as you can see. I'm here in a orchard. I'm going to guess that it's probably an apple orchard. Apples are apparently the second most profitable source of income in this region after tourism. I'm just going to wander through these trees here and try to get to a viewpoint to see the view looking up the other way. So I wanted to discuss in this video the subject of how fear rules our lives. And I had a little analogy to offer once again. So there is much debate over the topic of fear and the dichotomy of fear versus love. And obviously we can hope and assume that God is love and that fear is the opposite of love, or the result of lack of love. And so the natural conclusion tends to be move away from fear and move towards love. That it's that simple. And I don't believe that it is. I actually believe that confronting, facing, feeling, moving through fear is an absolutely essential and unavoidable component of getting closer to God. The reason is because fear is that which separates us from the divine and from our true nature, and therefore we must go through that which separates us from that which we desire to be closer to. And there is a difference between creating fear in our lives through putting yourself in bad situations that make you afraid and create fear within you. There's a difference between that and bringing up old, unresolved, denied fear. And so that's really what I'm talking about here. But really, there's the law of attraction and creation. The reason that we find ourselves in circumstances in our life in which we feel as if we're separated from love and from the divine and our true essence is because of unresolved fears within ourselves that are being manifested in the outer world. We have to create a vibration within ourselves that will then be mirrored in the outside world as a reflection and manifestation of our inner state of being. All right, check it out. Wow. I'm just hiking up above the village where I'm staying, it's a very steep hill down. But it is definitely worth the trek up here. So we all have fear within ourselves, which is denied feeling from the past, which we didn't fully process, and as a result it got stuck inside of our spirit, inside of our energetic being. And so there are feelings of fear and other denied emotions buried within our subconscious that rule our lives because to a great extent we are seeking to avoid this fear within because we don't want to feel it because it's unpleasant. And so the natural tendency is to go the other way when we have feelings of fear and try to feel something good and go in the other direction of these subconscious fears within, which to a great extent we are not even aware that we are reacting to. So here's the analogy. Imagine that you live in a house in which there are all of these glass balls hanging from the ceiling. Sorry if this kind of sounds weird, but hopefully it'll make some sense. So there are all these glass balls hanging at random heights from the ceiling all throughout your house, hanging from like pieces of yarn. And if you touch these balls and they explode, and obviously this is a unpleasant experience that you want to avoid. And so you have constructed your whole life around how to avoid these glass balls and the unpleasantness that will come about as a result of touching them. One more shot of the view. And so we've come up with all these convoluted ways to twist and distort ourselves as we go about our business, just trying to live our normal life without having to deal with the trauma of these exploding glass balls. So there's another way to deal with this situation, which is to start flailing the fuck all around and just hit all these glass balls and get them all exploding and then get them out of your house. And so that's another way to deal with this reality of fear within our souls, is to start just facing it and just do what we want to do in our life, whether it brings us fear or joy. And if it brings us joy, awesome. And if it brings us fear, but it's something we want to do in our lives, say you want a parachute, but it's something that you're afraid of. Speaking of which, I was just up in the Solang Valley, which is up there to the left of that snowy area up there, and watched a friend, this girl that I met while I was hiking a couple days ago, paraglide off the top of that mountain there, and she was a little freaked out at the beginning before doing it, but rather than avoiding our true heart's calling, say you want to travel the world, but you don't know how to do it, and you're afraid of how to do it. You want to go backpacking, you want to go camping, you want to learn karate, you want to do yoga, but you've heard that some people can get injured doing yoga, and so you're trepidatious about doing yoga. There are people that comment on my videos, like my one, Don't Try to Awaken Kundalini, a cautionary tale, and then they'll message me saying, I'm afraid to meditate because I don't want to awaken my Kundalini after watching your video, and I'm sorry about that, but I was just telling my honest story there. But go ahead and meditate. Don't base your life around avoiding things that might come up in the process of doing what you genuinely want to do. Difficult, painful, fearful, challenging things may arise, but if it's a result of simply doing what you desire to do in your life, then what you're facing is unresolved fears there. That's just stuff coming up from within your subconscious, and this is a very effective way of resolving, facing, dealing with these fears within, so that you can move around within your house, going back to the analogy, without having to be avoiding all this stuff that you don't want to face and experience. So just to keep that in mind of shifting one's paradigm of how you live your life, and being willing to confront fears that may come up within, and even seeking actively to do things that may challenge you and your fear within, and give you the opportunity to resolve this stuff and strengthen your being as a result, so that you have more freedom in your life to explore the world as you desire, without being ruled by fear. So there you go. And who knows, you might end up somewhere like this. Amazing day. Definitely soaking it up. Take care.